Good morning, beautiful people. It's about 6 a.m. here in Medellin. Chewy is busy waking me up. Thank you, buddy. He doesn't want to get up yet, but we gotta get up, bud. We have like tons of stuff to do. All right, let's get up and moving. Can we do that? Can we do that? Running a quick bag to storage. And then off to run a ton of errands. Y gracias. Muy amable. Hasta pronto. Bum, 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 bum.
¿Cómo estás? ¿De pronto te demora?
Sí, no, 5 minutos. Okay. Not super well organized. Probably because I did it myself. But that's all the stuff that I have in the world outside of what's on my motorcycle. And honestly, that's also way too much. I definitely need to get lighter than that, but there are some things that I don't want to necessarily get rid of at the moment, like some badass Lego sets. So, as I make more videos, I will talk more about this, but as I start the channel, I think it's important to spend some time talking about the reasons why I'm making the trip and how I'm feeling and sort of who I am. So, life story short, I grew up homeschooled on a farm in North Carolina. I joined the United States Military Academy, became a United States military officer in field artillery. But my military career was cut short, quite short actually, after a few years, by me sustaining frostbite injuries. I lost a toe and a half in Alaska and pretty severe neurovascular damage to my fingertips, which meant I had to be medically retired from the military. It certainly wasn't the way that I wanted to get out of the military, and I had certainly not planned on it, but it's what life dealt me, so I had to adjust. But I didn't adjust very well. It also didn't help that at this point I was estranged from my family, so I didn't really have a support network, and I also didn't really know how to construct one. So 2015, I arrive in Medellin, a very, very different person than I am now. At the end of 2015 and 2016, I spent in Medellin, and I was drinking too much, I was using drugs too much, I was doing everything that I could to escape my own consciousness, partly because I didn't want to face the fact and the harsh reality that I needed to improve as a person, and that I needed to take more personal responsibility for the things that were going on in my life and the people that I was attracting. But more on that later. I left Medellin in 2017 until late 2018, or middle of 2018, and that was spent mostly in Mexico and Austin. I studied programming at night and worked in startups during the day, because I knew I wanted to add technical skill sets to my repertoire, my set of skills. And I also wanted to build my own startup. So I ended up actually building my first SaaS startup, software as a service startup, that I programmed, designed, and coded myself in 2018, and that actually started going pretty well. So in 2018, August, I returned to Medellin. This begins the stabilization phase. I had a very major relationship romantically in my life at this time, and a lot of things were stable for me. I thought that what I wanted was family, and I got family, but at the end of the day, it wasn't the type of family or in the way that I wanted. So this was a huge learning curve for me, but stabilization in the sense that I ended up getting out of that relationship after a period of time. I was living on my own. I ended up getting an amazing job after a startup that I was working with wasn't doing really well. Like many startups, it did kind of well at the beginning and then started to not do so well, so it was time for me to move on. In any case, the stabilization phase for me was financially, monetarily, and also spiritually. I began to open my mind to alternative medicines and energies and plant medicines and coaching. The medicines told me very strongly that it was time for me to spend more time with myself, that it was time for me to investigate further the answers that already lay within me, but that I had not allowed time to breathe or to come up to the surface. And that led to the inspiration and the calling, really, truly a calling for this trip. Not just a trip to Alaska or to a specific destination, but a lifestyle of motorcycle or nomadic traveling and living. So 3 phases in Medellin. First was sort of the storming phase where I realized that I was to blame for basically everything that was going on in my life and everything that wasn't right. And then the second phase of stabilization where I created for myself a family, friends, began to rely on people and people began to rely on me. The third phase where I deeply explored my spiritual side and began to awake spiritually. And now, if you can call it a phase, where I'm leaving. I hope that my videos, my experiences, the way that I speak and the thoughts that I express and communicate will serve as an inspiration to some, will serve as a guide to others, and will inspire you, will maybe push you a little bit in terms of whatever it is that's on your mind that you want to do. Life is passing us by, and we don't have a guaranteed amount of it. It's just slipping through like sand grains in an hourglass. And what I realized for myself was that I just had to do it.
Mono, la parquear, vea, métala ahí. La parquear, métala ahí. Métala ahí, mono.
Sí, listo. ¿Cómo están? ¿Cómo le va?
Bien, bien, patroncito, gracias a Dios. Vea.
Qué chévere. Este es Fredonia, ¿cierto?
Es Fredonia, sí, sí.
Muy amable, muy bonito este pueblito.
Sí, bonito, ese pueblito es bonito.
When I go with confidence, when I go we roll like hips and take a sip on it, take a trip on it. When I go you can go slow, wind it up all night, baby take your time, let me know I want. When you tell me I want, when the neighbors yell turn down, we keep it going, like bum bum bum. Throw it back then rotation, cigarettes and the season, shine bright as that season. Girl, you know you are a jam, 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 sounding like you're wasting every time. Jam, 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 sounding like you're wasting every time. We know like me, we know shine bright like royalty, we know stay keep a day guarantee and wine. So kind of your neck is cold, you been waiting on me to solve it for me. And last weekend you had me thinking, almost kidding, I let my head up like bum bum bum. Throw it back then rotation, cigarettes and the season, shine bright as that season.
Hola, estamos acá en Fredonia con... ¿Puedes introducirte? ¿Cómo te llamas?
Sebastián.
Sebastián. Gabriel.
Maximiliano.
¿Qué?
Maximiliano.
Ay, qué chévere. Y señor, ¿cómo te llamas? Es un gusto en conocer todos. Estamos con los chicos del pueblo Fredonia en Colombia tomando un gran tiempo volando el dron. ¿Cómo está el dron? ¿Te parece?
Muy bien.
Me alegro demasiado. Hasta luego. Super cute little town. Alright, Chewy and I, it's about 4 p.m. and the last 2.5 hours or so was stop and go through construction para Isiga traffic. So we're gonna get some food, and the GPS says we're about 2 hours still. It said 4 hours total trip, and we spent 5 hours on the last section, or since we left. So we shall see, but time to get up, some food. I think we'll be in Quindío by this evening. Yeah, probably by enough time to get a quick bite to eat and explore a little bit of the Salina there. So anyway, I'm gonna let you loose and get some food. Well, we just finished actually a really great meal. Some French fries and steak. We're about to head off. So Garmin says less than 2 hours, and Google Maps says 3 hours, accounting for traffic, I'm sure. There appear to be at least 2 stops on the way. I'm going to need to stop for gas as well within the next 100 kilometers. Muy buenas tardes. ¿Cómo le va? Qué pena, déjame sacar mi chiquilín. ¡Pup! Así. Lleno de corriente, por favor. Gracias.
Lleno corriente limpia.
Sí. Good boy. Bloop. Who's my good boy? Okay. Let's go. The sun is coming down. Absolutely wonderful scenery. We're in the coffee region. About 35-40 kilometers outside of Santa Rosa de Cabal and 30 kilometers away from Manizales. Almost there, which is great because it's I'm actually driving at a pretty dangerous time, the twilight time. So I'll be taking this road up to the right, and then just past Finlandia a little bit is the Salina. And there's the Salina sign, I see it. Look at this. Yeah. Okay, 40 meters. Bada bing, bada boom, Chewy. And the GPS did a really bang up job, honestly. Look at this. Oh man. Yeah. Wow. Just wow. That must be reception, I think. Wow. This is great. What? Alright, so the Chuster and I have just arrived at Salina, Quindío. It's a lovely little place. It's very tranquil. They've got their own 10-minute, 15-minute nature walk. Chewy's also already made friends with Lucy, the local house dog, and she's pretty cool. And there's a cat or two. And the room's delightful, and I just can't wait to spend a couple of days here, really focus. Please do like and subscribe, share if you feel so inclined, so I can continue to get the word out and grow the channel as well as help people and hopefully inspire them to achieve their dreams. Okay, y'all, until tomorrow, we'll chat soon. Ciao. What you thinking, bud? Hey, Budster. Wow. Woo.